Ever wonder how someone who studies the tiniest of molecules can end up building a massive national institution? Well, we're about to find out. This is the story of Dr. Babu Rao Guduri, and his journey shows us exactly how deep scientific know-how can shape an entire industry for a nation. On the surface, those two things sound like they're worlds apart, right? You've got the quiet, focused lab on one hand, and the huge, complex world of national industry on the other. But Dr. Guduri's career draws a perfect straight line between them. He proved that a solid scientific foundation isn't just a nice-to-have, it's actually a powerhouse tool for growth. Let's dive into how he did it. So to really understand the leader, we have to start with the scientist. His whole story, every single decision he made, it's all built on this incredibly specific and vital foundation of expertise. And this is it. This is the bedrock we're talking about. Polymer science. Now, this isn't some abstract field stuck in a textbook. It's the science behind pretty much everything that holds our modern world together. The plastics, the materials that keep our food safe, our medicines sterile, and our products secure. In a nutshell, it's the science of packaging. His whole journey really kicks off right here, back in 2002, with a PhD in Polymer Science and Technology. And look, this wasn't just a piece of paper. This was the lens through which he was going to view every challenge and every opportunity that came his way. Okay, so you've got this deep, specialized knowledge. What's the next logical step? You take it out onto the world stage. This part of his career was all about putting that knowledge to the test against global standards and working alongside some of the best minds out there. So he's at South Africa's Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, the CSIR, and his influence just explodes. He wasn't just doing his own research anymore. He was guiding master's and PhD students, collaborating with top researchers in the US, Canada, and China, and getting his work published in major international journals. This is really where he made his mark as a true world-class scientist. And people were taking notice. You don't just get handed a Best Paper Award or a Young Scientist Award from an organization like the CSIR. That's hard proof that his work was not only excellent, but genuinely innovative. And this brings us to a really fascinating turning point. How does a scientist at the top of his game take all that international experience and bring it back home to lead a major national institution? This is where his career in pure science was about to level up into national leadership. So first, let's just get a sense of the place itself. The Indian Institute of Packaging, or IIP, is a big deal. It's the country's top organization for packaging, working directly under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry since way back in 1966. It literally sets the standard for the entire country. And his background? It was the absolute perfect fit. His deep understanding of polymer science gave him the credibility to lead the IIP's most important job, testing and certification. And that scientific authority was absolutely essential for keeping the Institute's reputation strong with global players like the World Packaging Organization and UNIDO. He was the right expert and the right place at exactly the right time. But being an expert is one thing. Turning that expertise into actual success on the ground is something else entirely. So now let's look at the real, tangible results of his leadership, how he literally built a stronger IIP from the inside out. I want to show you his impact with just a single number, 7. That's how many state governments and industries Dr. Guduri got to initiate new funding for the Institute while he was there. That represents a massive, massive expansion of support and influence for the IIP. And here's the list. I mean, look at this. From Odisha to Maharashtra, all the way to Jammu and Kashmir, this shows a truly nationwide effort. Getting that kind of buy-in and funding from such a diverse group of states, that takes some serious strategy and coordination, and it gave the Institute a huge boost in resources and reach. And it wasn't just about the money. His leadership brought critical improvements to how the place was run. He was the main point of contact with the ministry, he personally supervised huge construction projects for new centers and a world-class lab, and he locked in the essential policies for things like HR and recruitment. I mean, this is the nuts and bolts work that makes an institution strong for the long haul. So when you put all these pieces together, what does it all add up to? When you mix that deep scientific knowledge with smart, strategic leadership, what kind of legacy does that leave behind? His legacy is really that of the scientist-strategist. Dr. Guduri used his scientific discipline to strengthen the very standards that support India's industries, protect the food coming from its farmers, and push forward academic research. It was a contribution that benefited everyone. And this all leaves us with a final, really interesting question to chew on. Dr. Guduri's story is such a powerful example. In a world that's getting more and more complex, more technical every day, maybe real progress depends on having leaders who don't just manage things, but who actually deeply understand the stuff they're in charge of. It's definitely something to think about.